guys, it's Sarah, and today I have some ARC reviews for you. So these were some of the books that were sent to me for the month of March that were released, and they were sent to me early so that I could read them and review them for you guys. So I wanted to give you my thoughts on them. There are 3 this time. The first one that I have was sent to me from St. Martin's Press, and this was actually sent to me through NetGalley, and that is You Are Not Alone, and this is by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Buchanan. This one came out on March 3rd, and this is a thriller, I guess mystery thriller type of book. This is the 3rd book written by this writing duo, and the 3rd one that I have read. I have read the other 2 as well, and this one I really enjoyed. This one follows a girl who is spending a lot of time being envious of other people and kind of comparing herself to other people, and she ends up witnessing a very tragic event. And because of this, she becomes a little bit obsessed with the victim of that event, and she finds herself wanting to know more about this girl. She wants to know what circumstances happened to lead up to this, and she becomes a little bit obsessed with her and with the whole case and everything that was surrounding it. And she actually ends up inserting herself into this girl's life, this victim's life that she's following. And she ends up making some of the same friends. These friends seem a little too good to be true, which, you know, we all know how that usually works out. And you're following both our main character and the new friends who are coming into her life. So you're following both of them and seeing what's actually happening on both of their ends and why things are happening. And it completely takes over our main character. Her name is Shay. It completely takes over her life and her mental state of health as well. And oh my goodness, it was good. It was really good. I ended up giving this one 4 stars because there were some really good twists and turns in here. I didn't see all of them coming, and I just really enjoyed it. It was just something that I just read through and I really enjoyed. It wasn't mind-blowing. It wasn't my favorite of their books, but it was up there. So I definitely recommend reading it, especially if you have read this writing duo before and you've liked their books in the past. You'll definitely like this one too. So yeah, I definitely recommend it. I won't say too much else because I don't want to, you know, obviously spoil anything for a thriller, but it was a solid thriller and I gave it 4 stars. And the next one that I had was sent to me by William Morrow. This one came out actually on March 10th. It was originally supposed to come out in January, but the date got pushed back, and now it has come out on March 10th now, so it is available now. And that is My Dark Vanessa by Kate Elizabeth Russell. This one is a dark contemporary book, and it follows a girl who had a sexual relationship with one of her high school teachers, and you're following 2 different timelines. So you're following the start of that relationship, and those are all kind of flashback type things, but you're seeing how their relationship started. And then you're also seeing this girl as an adult and how it has affected her life as an adult, and the fact that she's still in contact with him. And he has new accusations that have been brought up against him by another girl, and she is struggling to come to terms with the reality of what their relationship was, and discovering how it's really affected her life as a whole, just this one relationship with this one man. So I describe this as a conversation starter. There is a lot that you could talk about that happens in this book. There's a lot of psychological issues that you can talk about in this book. There's a lot of things dealing with manipulation that you can talk about, and the reality of what this girl went through and how much of it was her desires and how much of it was him manipulating her into maybe thinking she desired it, and a lot of questions about why she did the things that she did and why she continues to do some of the things that she does. It's just, there's a lot to talk about. It is a very dark topic. It's a very complicated topic, and it's also a very important topic because things like this do happen. Now, there has been talk about this is based on the author's experiences, but in her author's note, she says that's not the case. She says, you know, these are not based on my own experiences. So I think that's a misconception that's been happening around this book, is that, you know, she wrote this based on her own life, and that's not the case. I don't know if she's had a relationship with one of her teachers before, but it's not, if she has, that's not what this is. And this maybe could have been inspired by that, but it's not like her memoir or anything like that. So that's something I wanted to clear up a little bit, because I've heard that going around, but that's not really the case according to her author's note in this book. So keep that in mind. But there definitely are trigger warnings in here for, sexual assault and child molestation and drug use. So those are pretty heavy topics in this book. If you guys decide you want to pick this up, just be fairly warned about that. But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really messed up and really dark, and those are things I tend to enjoy, and I gave it 4 stars. And the third one was sent to me by Berkeley, and this book came out on March 17th, and that is Darling Rose Gold. This is written by Stephanie Warble. This is a debut novel. It's her first book, and this one follows a young girl. Her name is Rose Gold, and she was the star witness in a trial that involved her mother, and her mother was accused of abusing her throughout her entire life. And the reason she's accused of that is because Rose Gold has spent her entire childhood being sick. So this deals with Munchausen syndrome by proxy, and the fact that her mother was accused of keeping her sick so that she could get the attention and she can be, get all the sympathy and everything. And so all that had happened in the past. So we're not really following that type of timeline. The timeline that we're following is Rose Gold as an adult. Her mother is getting out of jail. Her mother has served some time. She went through the trial, did all that. She has served her time, and now she's getting out. And Rose Gold decides she's going to take her mother back in, and she's going to let her live in her house and try to kind of mend their relationship. So this book was crazy, and I wasn't sure what to expect going in, because this is a debut, so I've never read this author. Obviously, no one has before this, but she knows how to twist a tail, because I spent this whole book trying to figure out who was crazier. The mom or Rose Gold. The mom's name is Patty. So Patty or Rose Gold. I could not figure out who was really the crazy one in this story. And I spent almost the whole book wondering that. So that was good. And it's a little bit of a dual timeline. The timeline is probably 5 years apart. So the present timeline is, her mom's out of jail and she's living with her, and Rose Gold has her own baby now, and her mom's helping care for that baby. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you trust this woman around children. What's wrong with you? And then you also follow 5 years earlier, where her mom is in jail and Rose Gold is trying to make it on her own as an adult for the first time in her life. And she doesn't really have any idea what to do. She's always been so dependent on her mother for absolutely everything. And so you see her kind of making it on her own and making friends and, finding out things about her life that she never knew because her mom kept it from her and stuff like that. But yeah, both of these characters are insane, and you can definitely understand the crazy that is coming out, especially in Rose Gold, I think, just the way she was brought up. And her mother was a master manipulator, and she learned a lot from her mother. So you see some of that come out too. But then her mom gets out, and then you're kind of trying to figure out, okay, some things are happening right now. What is really happening? And I can say that I was surprised, and I spent the whole book not really knowing exactly where this was going to be going. And when everything kind of came to a head, it was good. I really, really enjoyed it. I was kind of giggling and can't turn the pages fast enough towards the end. So I loved it. I gave it 5 stars, and I was trying to decide between 4 and 5. And I thought to myself, well, what would I knock a star off for? And I didn't really have anything. So this one got 5 stars because I didn't have a reason to knock off a star for anything. I really liked it. The characters were dark and complex. The story was messed up. I didn't see a few things coming. It kept me guessing, and that's what I love in a book. So I gave it 5 stars. I really, really liked this one. Definitely trigger warning for Munchausen syndrome by proxy. So if that's something that triggers you or that you're sensitive to, that's 1000% in here. That's like what this is. So don't read it. But I really enjoyed it, and I will definitely be on the lookout for more books by this author. I believe she has another 2-book deal from the publisher, so I'm excited to see what she's going to be coming up with next. Okay, guys, that is it. Those are 3 books that were sent to me for review for the month of March, so please let me know down below if you guys have read these books and what your thoughts were. Let me know if you're planning to pick any of them up after hearing me talk about them. I hope that you guys do, and I will leave links to the Amazon pages for all 3 of these books. If you guys are interested, you can go ahead and get your copies, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you again soon.